This is a listening and breathing guided meditation. We will be breathing in and out 30 times, and on the last
breath we will exhale and hold for 1 minute. After that, inhale and hold for 15 seconds, then exhale the breath.
While doing this, Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, will be sharing his wisdom with us in this meditation. So let's begin.
The majority of models for Linus complain bitterly of the spitefulness of nature, because we are born for brief span of life, because even this space that has been granted to us rushes by so speedily and so swiftly that all save the very few find life at an end,
Just when they are getting ready to live. Nor is it merely the common herd and the unthinking crowd that bemoan what is, as men deem it, and universal ill. The same feeling has called forth complaint also from men who were famous. It was this that made the greatest of physicians exclaim that life is short, art is long. Life is long enough, and it has been given in sufficiently generous measure to allow the accomplishment of the very greatest things, if the whole of it is well invested.
but when it is squandered in luxury and carelessness, when it is devoted to no good, enforce at last be why the ultimate necessity we perceive that it has passed away before we were aware of that it was passing.
So it is, the life we receive is not short, but we make it so.
Nor do we have any lack of it, but are wasteful of it, just as great and princely wealth scattered in a moment, when it comes into the hands of a bad owner, while wealth, however limited, if it is entrusted to a good guardian, increases by us. Why do we complain of nature? She has shown herself kindly. Life, if you're not used it, it's long. One man is possessed by lust that is insatiable, another by a toilsome devotion to tasks that are useless.
One man is besotted with wine, another is paralyzed by sloth. One man is exhausted by an ambition that always hangs upon the decision of another, driven on by the greed of the trader, is that over all lands and all seas by the hope of gain. Some are tormented by a passion for war, and are always either bent upon inflicting danger upon others or concerned about their own.
Some there are who are worn out by voluntary servitude in a thankless attendance upon the great. Many are kept busy, even in the pursuit of other men's fortune, or in complaining of their own. Many, following no fixed aim, shifting and inconstant and dissatisfied, are plunged by their fickleness into plans. Some have no fixed principle by which to direct their course, but fate takes them unawares while they low and yawn. Life we really live is small, for all the rest of existence is not life, but merely time. Vices beset us and surround us on every side, and they do not permit us to rise anew and lift our eyes for the discernment of truth.
Look at those whose prosperity men flock to behold.
They are smothered by their blessings. To how many are riches a burden, from how many to eloquence and the daily straining to display their powers.
Draw, Selina.
They are smothered by their blessings. But how many are riches a bird?
From how many?
No one is his own master. And then certain men show the most senseless indignation. They complain of the incidents of their superiors because they were too busy to see them when they wished an audience. Can anyone have the hardihood to complain of the pride of another when he himself has no time to
attend to himself? After all, no matter who you are, the great man does sometimes look toward you. Even if his face is instant, he does sometimes condescend to listen to your words. He permits you to appear at his side. Could you never deign to look upon yourself, to give ear to yourself?
There is no reason, therefore, to count anyone in debt for such services, seeing that when you perform them you had no wish for another's company, but could not endure your own. Men do not suffer anyone to seize their estates, and they rush to stones and arms if there is even the slightest dispute about the limit of their lands. Yet they allow others to trespass upon their life. In guiding their fortune, men are often closed fists. Yet when it comes to the matter of wasting time, in the case of the one thing in which it is right to be miserly, they should show themselves most prodigal.
And so I should like to lay hold upon someone from the company of older men and say, I see that you have reached the farthest limit of human life.
You are pressing hard upon your 100th year, or are even beyond it. Now come, recall your life.
Make a reckoning. Consider how much of your time was taken up with the money-lender, how much with the mistress, how much with the patron, how much with the client,
How much in wrangling with your wife? How much in punishing your slaves?
How much in rushing about the city on social duties? At the diseases which we have caused by our own acts, and to the time that has lain idle and unused, you will see that you have fewer years to your credit than you count. Look back in memory and consider when you ever had a fixed plan.
How few days had passed as you have intended. When you were ever at your own disposal of your life, when you were not aware of what you were losing. How much was taken up in useless sorrow, in foolish joy, in greedy desire, in the lower mounts of society. How little of yourself was left to you. You live as if you were destined to live forever. No thought of your frailty ever enters your head of how much time has already gone by. You take no heed. You squander time as if you drew it from a full and abundant supply, though all the while that day which you bestow on some person or thing is perhaps your last.
You have all the fears of mortals and all the desires of immortals. You will hear many men saying, after my 50th year, I shall retire to leisure.
My 60th year shall release me from public duties.
And what guarantee, you pray? Have you let your life will last longer?
Who will suffer your cause to be just as you planned? Are you not ashamed to reserve for yourself only the remnant of life? To begin to live just when we must cease to live.
What foolish forgetfulness of mortality to postpone wholesome plans to 50th and 60th year, and who intend to begin life with the point to which few have attained. You will see that the most powerful and highly placed men let drop remarks in which they long for leisure.
But among the worst I count also those who have time for nothing but wine and lust, for none have more shameful engrossment.
The others, even if they are assessed by the empty dream of glory, nevertheless go astray in a seemingly manner.
Though you should cite to me the men who are avaricious, the men who are raffled with a busy, unjust hatreds with unjust wars, these all sin in more manly fashion, for those who are plunged into the pleasures of the belly, and the lust-bear estate, that is dishonor. See how much time they give to accounts, how much delaying snares, how much to fearing them, how much to pay in court, how much to being courted, how much is taken up and giving or receiving bail, how much by banquets. For even these have now become a matter of business, and you will see how their interests, whether you call an evil or good, do not allow them time to. Finally, everyone agrees that no one pursuit can be successfully followed by a man who is busy with many things. Hope this meditation made your day a little bit easier. Take care.